Hello friends, I'm Dr. Haley Shah, consulting practicing neurologist in Ahmedabad at Sterling Group of Hospitals. Now, as you all know that 30th May is respected as World MS Day, basically to create awareness regarding MS amongst people. Now, today I'm going to give you some idea about multiple sclerosis. Now, what is MS? MS meaning multiple sclerosis is a disease which affects multiple areas of the central nervous system, meaning including brain, spinal cord, and optic nerves. It is an autoimmune disorder where the immune system of the body attacks the nerve cells of the brain, spinal cord, leading to an allergic kind of inflammatory reaction, meaning causing swelling of the brain and spinal cord and other parts of the CNS. Now, what happens in multiple sclerosis? These nerve cells around the brain and spinal cord, they act as an insulating wires, and they help in carrying signals and electrical sensations across to and fro the body, which is also known as myelin. So multiple sclerosis damages this myelin layer. So in turn, it leads to hampering of transmission or decreased transmission of these impulses. Hence, it is also known as demyelinating disorder. Now, depending upon the area of central nervous system, be it brain, brainstem, spinal cord, or optic nerve affected, one may get combination of one or more of the symptoms. This could be visual disturbances in the form of dimness of vision or double vision, or it could be paralysis of one or both sides of the body, tightness of limbs, or it could be tingling, numbness, or pins and prick-like sensations all over the body. Patients could also have gallbladder disturbances or extreme fatigue kind of symptoms. Some patients would have mood and memory disturbances and worsening of her symptoms on heat exposure. Now, 80 to 85% of the MS patients would have relapsing remitting type of presentation, meaning that the disease would flare up in the form of acute symptom onset, which is also known as attacks, and it may slowly get normal over days and over a period of days or weeks, and in between the patient remains clinically almost normal. Now, some patients are very lucky enough to have a benign multiple sclerosis course, that they remain clinically functionally stable even after long years of diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. Some patients would have aggressive multiple sclerosis in the form of aggressive course or disease progression right from the beginning of the onset of MS. Now, around 2.5 million population of the world is affected with multiple sclerosis, and females are affected twice to thrice more common than of males. And in India, if we look at the prevalence, it is 7 to 10 per lakh of population. Mainly reproductive group of people are affected with the disease. Now, how to diagnose multiple sclerosis? So, if one has one or the above symptoms which I have already described, then one should consult a specialist who is a neurologist for the diagnosis. Now, let me tell you, diagnosis of multiple sclerosis is not at all difficult. With the advancement in the modern diagnostic techniques, it has become much more prettier, easier. Now, as far as the diagnosis is concerned, it is a combination of clinical and neurological examination as well as paraclinical findings, namely MRI with dedicated cuts with gadolinium contrast enhancement, with gadolinium contrast agent used with exposure of the brain, spinal cord, and optic nerves. This is basically to find out the lesions of the multiple sclerosis in these areas, as well as to rule out other conditions which are known as MS mimics, meaning that they would mimic multiple sclerosis, but they are not multiple sclerosis. And that is very important to rule these conditions out, like NMOSD group of disorders or MOG group of disorders. Then lumbar puncture, that is CSF, is very important when one can show the evidence of inflammation. and other markers of multiple, which are suggestive of multiple sclerosis. Then OCT, VEP, and other evoked potentials can be useful, which can be supplemented with other serological markers as well, depending upon the requirement. Now, how to treat multiple sclerosis? So, management of multiple sclerosis has become pretty easier, and patients with MS can lead to near normal life. Now, as far as the management is concerned, it can be divided into treatment of acute flare-up, and at the other hand, we have preventive therapies in the form of disease-modifying therapies. Now, for the treatment of acute flare-up or treatment of acute attacks, one can be treated with intravenous steroids, that is methylprednisolone, for 3 to 5 days. And for the preventive aspect, which are DMTs, they can slow the disease progression, as well as they can reduce the disabilities of these patients. And at the one hand, we have injectables like leterambur, interferons, and other newer drugs like ocrelizumab, rituximab, natalizumab. And at the other hand, we have equally potent, cost-effective, and safe oral DMTs in the form of teriflunomide, dimethyl fumarate, and fingolimod. So, and even for the aggressive MS patients with aggressive MS, we have advanced treatments in the form of stem cell transplantation, which has been found to be effective in certain cases of multiple sclerosis. Now, patients with multiple sclerosis can lead to near normal life, and even patients of childbearing age can conceive normally, and they can breastfeed their child, and this disease has potentially no risk of transmission to the offsprings. Friends, at the same time, it is needless to say that importance of exercise, physiotherapy, yoga, meditation, pranayam is equally important. And along with that, balanced nutritional diet, rich in fruits and vegetables, and relaxation, positive mental attitude is equally important. So my message to patients with multiple sclerosis is that if you have multiple sclerosis, don't be afraid. It is no more a dreadful disease. Early diagnosis and treatment is the key to management. And stay safe, stay healthy, and be positive. Let's fight MS together.